Today on the Trey Hart channel, we're going to be talking about cue reduction. Stick around. Welcome to the Trey Hart channel. I am Ray Upchurch, your host. This year so far, we've talked about setting SMART goals and what they are, the type of diets and how effective they are, and self-monitoring. All of these subjects can help with diet control. So why cue control? Well, firstly, I realize that sometimes when we overeat, it is a chain reaction to some other stimulus. Every person develops a reaction to certain stimulus. Stimulus control involves learning what social or environmental cues seem to encourage undesired eating and then changing those cues or changing how we react to those cues. Sometimes it's easy to know what these cues are, such as walking into a grocery store and then you smell the fresh baked bread in the bakery section. But sometimes we don't always consciously know what the cues are, such as when we come home from work and feel we just need to open that chocolate bar without consciously attributing that desire to the stress of something that happened earlier that day. This is what is called a conditioned response. So what is a conditioned response? Some of you might remember the story taught in schools about Pavlov's dog. As the story goes, Pavlov theorized that the dog would respond a certain way if conditioned to. He wanted to make the dog salivate. So in his experiment, he would set out food for the dog, and then when he called the dog, he would ring a bell. After a while, he only needed to ring the bell, and the dog would begin to salivate. We are like this and certain conditions are met. We, however, don't realize or even know when we are conditioned to respond by eating or by eating certain foods. So the question is, if something is obvious and if something is not, how do I know? Well, through this series I've mentioned journaling several times. Using your home journal and going back through it to see the times when you're more likely to overeat may help you to realize some of the things that led up to your overeating. So, how can we avoid this chain reaction associated with these events? Now, I realize that some things are in my control, such as walking into the bakery section of the store, while others may be less so, such as having a stressful day. Now, it may be easy to avoid cues such as overeating when I watch TV or reaching for treats in the break room, but it's not always easy to avoid stress related to work. It is possible to control how I react to that stress, however. So now you know why the last two videos I talked about stress and emergency stress management. Each of us are different. That's why when you review the things that seem to lead you to overeat, you may realize that some of the things you can help yourselves with, but others you will need help in. And that's okay. The important thing is that you realize this. And if you need help, seek it out. Remember, you don't have to do these things alone. Avoid or eliminate the cues you can by changing your situation or separating the association of eating from that cue, i.e., don't eat while you watch television and you will separate yourself from that cue, or eliminating that cue if at all possible. Well, thank you for watching. I hope you have found this video helpful. In the link below, I have included a diet journal that you might find helpful. If you've liked this video, please press the like button below, and If you're not a current subscriber, please subscribe. Next time on the Treyhart channel, I will be starting my first of the Essential Vitamin and Mineral series by talking about vitamin A. See you then!